Which of these cars is made up? The Great Wall Punk Cat, the Daihatsu Happy Guy, the Citroen C4 Cactus, or Mitsubishi Topo Best Joy Guppy?
When it comes to the Asian market vehicles, I'm like, what in the world am I supposed to...
Like, it could be any one of these.
So immediately I just go for like the French one because like, what is cactus in French? Does that mean a different thing?
You going with Cactus?
That is my instinct.
The Daihatsu Happy Guy.
Is it close to a regular car?
No, I just made that up.
Okay.
Mitsubishi Topo Best Joy Guppy.
I don't understand their naming conventions. It's just like
Best Joy Guppy.
what I want. I'd hate to see the worst Joy Guppy.
Did you like that?
All right, what's next?
Well, good, because I got another one. Which one of these is made up? Welcome, everyone, to the Bose Bros podcast. I'm Mason.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're going to start off with speed rounds.
Okay.
First up on our speed rounds is...
I can see this having peripheral vision, so I'm going to turn a little bit this way.
Okay.
Cover cars. Okay.
Cover cars. So these are cars that are either on the cover or are
Closely associated.
very strongly associated with the film, movie, video game, whatever piece of media.
Okay, let's see.
First up, 1970 Dodge Challenger in white.
In white specifically.
Specifically.
I know in black that was the bad guy car in Bullet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in white...
No, the bad guy car was a Charger.
Oh, okay.
In Bullet. Challenger didn't exist yet.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't think I know this.
This might be the most famous movie this car is in.
Does it have Steve McQueen?
Well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't know. You got me.
Vanishing Point.
Vanishing Point. Very cool. I got to watch that movie.
Audio Slave, Show Me How to Live, their song, their music video is an homage to this film, and they drive a white Challenger throughout most of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And what's funny is I didn't know that, and I listened to that while I'm cruising in my Cuda, and then I see the music video. I was like, oh, they're driving an E-body with
look
this
at that.
song.
That's
it
great.
Fits right in.
I love the tagline. Everything happens fast. The chase, the desert, the shack, the girl, the roadblock, the end.
Yeah. I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen the whole thing beginning to end, but apparently it's got some really good car chasing.
We should do a movie night at my house and put it up on the big screen and watch Vanishing Point.
All right, next up. 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California Spider.
Yeah, I know exactly what this is.
What?
This is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It did appear on some covers in some places.
Yup. Yeah, classic 80s
Classic.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. John Hughes.
Although they didn't actually use, obviously, a Ferrari in the movie. Oh, whoops. They didn't actually use a Ferrari in the movie. Instead, it was let's see, let me go back. 1985 Modena GT Spider California. So of the actual, it's basically a kit car that they used for the film. They had 3 of them. The actual Ferrari, there was less than 100 of them made, if I'm remembering correctly, like 50 something. They sold back in 1961 for $300 and something thousand, which is a lot of money for 1961. The last time one of them sold was in 2020 for a little over like $15 million.
Oh my gosh, that's just money laundering. That's what that is. They're just parking their money somewhere that they can't be taxed.
At that level, the cars are they treat them like fine art.
Yeah.
It's just a way to keep your money without losing it on taxes and stuff. So, all right, next up. 1982 Pontiac Trans Am.
Okay. In this color?
No.
Okay. This is Kit from Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, very good.
Yep. With the little... Yeah. You know how many Teslas are nicknamed Kit?
Oh, gosh. I was just about to say, like, a solid half of what that car can do, your average Tesla now does.
absolutely.
Yeah, another one I haven't seen. I'm aware of it.
That was a TV show, though, right?
Yeah, it was a TV show. They revived it in like the early 2000s, but I don't think it had nearly the same popularity.
Yeah, I saw it. It was terrible.
Was it a movie?
No, sorry, I saw the revival of MacGyver, and that was really bad.
Okay.
Like in the first episode, he picks up like a tray, like a serving tray, and uses it to deflect bullets. And it's like in the show, it even looks like a Party City plastic chrome thing. And then he like looks at it and it shows up stainless steel. He's like, that'll deflect bullets. Like stainless steel is very often pretty soft as steels go. It's got a high nickel, high chromium, low carbon. It's not a strong steel. It's like you just anyway. I hated it. I was like, this is stupid. So I didn't watch the rest of it. But what's the thing that sticks out to you most on this picture?
The chest hair.
The chest hair, absolutely. That's 1,000% the chest hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got more hair on his chest than he does on his head.
I mean, that was the style.
As was the style at the time.
All right. That's it for cover cars. Next up, 20 questions. I will admit I didn't have a lot of time to research this car, so I may not have all the answers.
That's fine.
Actually, you know what? No, never mind. We'll just do it. Okay.
Okay.
20 questions. So you have 20 yes or no questions to guess what car I'm thinking of. I may also say maybe, or I don't know, or kind of.
And if you don't know the answer, it doesn't count against me, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I might say kind of. For example, real quick tangent, reviewing back to when you quizzed me
For when I was right, yeah. I wanted
About-
to go back to...
the Volkswagen Rutan.
Oh, yeah.
I said, is it a Chrysler vehicle? You said no. I said, is it a European vehicle? You said no.
You're right. On one of those, I should have answered yes. But
Or say kind of. Because if you're going to say, well, no, it's not Chrysler, it's technically...
yes, I was in my very black and white mode that my wife dislikes, where no,
You have
it's
that
not
mode too, huh?
It is not a Chrysler vehicle. Well, it's also not European, so it doesn't say Chrysler on the front.
So I will also say kind of
Okay, fair
as
enough.
an option.
Yeah,
All right.
just like as opposed to like
Straight yes or no.
Like my point where the Flex was kind of a station wagon. It was slightly more station wagon than it wasn't, which was my point, and that's what they came out in the voting.
I'm calling voter fraud.
Voter fraud. Voter fraud. Yeah. Okay.
All right. 20 questions.
All right. Is it an American market vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Is it made by an American brand?
Yes.
Is it a cousin car made by another brand but sold under an American badge?
Not really.
Okay. Is it from the big three?
Not really.
Is it built in China?
No.
Is it from an EV startup?
No.
Is it from a legacy brand? Meaning a brand pre-2000?
Yes.
Is it... So it's an American market vehicle. It's not really a big three item. Is it owned by GM?
No.
Is it sold in Europe too?
I believe it was, but I don't know for sure. So I won't count that against you, but I think it was.
Was it in production after the year 2010?
No.
Was it in production after the year 1990?
I don't think so.
Was it either the only car or like one of very few cars made by this manufacturer
Yes.
is a DMC DeLorean?
No, but you're on the right track.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Was it sold by Ford dealers?
Yes.
Is it a De Tomaso Pantera?
Yes.
It's a Pantera. It's always a Pantera.
Mm-hmm. Should have been your first guess.
It really should. I mean,
It's always a
It's always a
Pantera.
Pantera. Yeah. Yeah. You knew I had it when I asked about the Ford dealer. Huh?
'Cause it's got Ford V8, right?
I don't know enough about this car either.
Yeah, it's got a Ford V8 in it.
I just remember that it was sold by Ford dealers and they just didn't know what to do with it. Or rather, it wasn't sold.
A few of them sold. They're pretty cool when you see them.
Yeah. Cool. You got another one?
No, now I have cousin cars.
Cousin cars. All right.
So cousin cars, I'm going to show you the more obscure model of this vehicle, and you're going to tell me what the more mainstream cousin of it is. Now, cousin can be kind of a wide spectrum of things. This one's a pretty close cousin.
So we're talking not kissing cousins. It's got to be
You
pretty...
definitely would not kiss this cousin. They're too closely related.
Okay.
A Honda Crossroad.
A Honda Crossroad. Well, that looks a lot like a Land Rover Discovery.
Yep. Honda Crossroad is a rebadged Land Rover Discovery.
Wait a minute. So one of the highest rated vehicles for our brands for longevity, Honda, went, yeah, we'll put our badge on a Land Rover.
It's literally their badge on a Land Rover. And I think just a little simplified. But, yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what's also crazy? This is the only, let me go back to it, the only roadworthy V8 to ever wear a Honda badge.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. The only street legal, I should say. V8
Wow.
Honda.
I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Honda's never put a big engine in the Ridgeline.
It's their biggest vehicle, isn't it?
I mean, the Pilot's bigger than a Ridgeline.
Yeah. Yeah, Land Rover Discovery. That's the first generation.
Logan doesn't even know the Pilot exists.
That's true. They had a second generation, which has nothing to do with the Land Rover.
That's really bad.
It's smaller, but it's meant to look boxy.
Yeah, it's like someone described an Element over the phone to someone else who was drunk.
See, I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
This puts me in the same mode of like the Dodge Nitro concept. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's kind of uncanny valley.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. That's really bad.
It is very. This is 2007. This is very late 2000s Honda design language.
Or Dodge, for that matter, with the square everything.
I kind of like it.
And the fake metal plastic grill. Oof. Ooh, do you love the fake plastic skid plate in the front? Isn't that beautiful?
I mean, it's a real plastic skid plate.
Oh, well, that's true. It is real plastic. Fake metal skid plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how tiny those windows are. It's weird.
I kind of like it.
Where was this sold?
Japan and Europe, I think. Definitely wasn't sold here.
It's got to be tiny then. Is it the size of an Element?
I don't know where it is, like size-wise, but just looking at the size of the seats, like in the doors, it does look pretty small. It's crossover sized.
Yeah. I saw somebody modified an Element, put a turbo in it, a lift kit, all-wheel drive, and then did the tubular doors, half doors. For all four of them. And it looked so flippin' cool. I was like, I would have that in a heartbeat.
That's cool. All right. Next up, quiz time.
Okay. What do you got for me?
Which of these cars is made up?
All of them.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Or I should say, which of these is not a real car? The Great Wall Punk Cat, the Daihatsu Happy Guy, the Citroen C4 Cactus, or Mitsubishi Topo Best Joy Guppy.
When it comes to the Asian market vehicles, I'm like, what in the world am I supposed to...
Like, it could be anyone.
So immediately I just go for like the French one because like, what is cactus in French? Does that mean a different thing? Is like cactus like SRT in France? Like, I don't know what that...
You going with cactus? The Citroen cactus?
That is my instinct because I have any of the rest of these. I've learned through these questions that if it's an Asian market vehicle, they'll name it anything. Mm-hmm. There is nothing that is a dead giveaway. Like, oh, that's obviously made up. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with the French one just because I bet you picked 3 Japanese or Asian market vehicles. It just sounds stupid.
I picked 2 Asian market vehicles and 1 French vehicle. The Daihatsu Happy Guy.
Is it close to a regular car?
No, I just made that up.
Okay. So you could just make up anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the Tut Tut Joy Wagon? Like you could
probably
exists.
The Citroen Cactus. When you think cactus, you're like, oh, what did they like? Put bumpy plastic on the doors or something? Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Let's see it.
I don't have a picture of it, but
okay.
I do have a picture of the Mitsubishi Topo Best Joy Guppy.
I don't understand their naming conventions. This just like blows my mind. I mean, obviously a K car.
Yeah.
But
Best Joy Guppy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to see the worst Joy Guppy. Mm-hmm. Or the best sad Guppy.
Or Best Joy Minnow. Maybe it's bigger.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
Absolute like line of nonsense of names.
Did you like that?
All right, what's next?
Well, good. So I got another one. Which one of these is made up? The Toyota Karma Can, the Mitsubishi Pistachio, Nissan Days Rooks, and Peugeot Bipper TP Outdoor.
Again, I'm leaning toward the French one. I'm pretty sure the Pistachio is real and it's a tiny little car. That's a Nissan Micra. There's also another one that's a Nissan City car. I think it's the Pistachio. So I'm gonna go against my gut because last time I said it was the French car. This time I'm gonna go with the Toyota Karma Can is the made up one.
That's correct.
Hey, all right.
No such thing as a Toyota Karma Can, but there very well could have been, and it
absolutely
would not surprise me.
Hey, there's the Peugeot.
Bipper TP.
This is very similar to the last one, except this is a minivan. So a
it's
minivan
sliding
sliding doors.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Weird. Yeah, it's French. You can't think too hard about it.
You can't pin down anything the French are going to do. You're just
except for treat. I'm kidding.
I will go on a diatribe about this.
I know.
The French had the strongest army in the world for over 100 years.
There we go.
All right, never mind.
I only said it because I know it pissed you off. All right. Which car's made up? Nissan Big Thumb, Vauxhall Atom Rocks, Honda That's, Tata Gravity Spin GT.
Honda That is.
That's.
Honda That's.
It's the shorter version.
I'm going with the Honda That's is made up because that's some nonsense.
That apostrophe S? Yeah. No, that is a real car.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm convinced these are all made up.
The Tata Gravity Spin GT, I made up.
Oh my god.
The rest of them are all real. So Nissan Big Thumb, it's a truck. The Vauxhall Atom Rocks is a little hatchback, and Honda That's
Atom Rocks
is like another little K car thing.
That one's. They speak the language I speak there.
Mm-hmm.
Vauxhall is
what it looks
England.
Like. Vauxhall Atom Rocks. This is the S.
Ooh. Great. With this weird two-tone. You do see this thing where they detach the roofline from the back, or sometimes you'll see they detach the roofline from the front. But this is the first time I've seen it on both, where it looks like a hat.
It's like a hat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is weird.
I have to think they're like, for whatever reason, people named Adam are not buying our cars. I want your ideas.
What if we say it's Adam Rocks?
Write that down. Write that down.
Adam Rocks. Adam Rocks and his and he can do handbrake turns.
Yep. Adam Rocks S. Which car is made up? I think this is the last one.
I swear. These are the worst.
The Geely Beauty Leopard. Mazda Proceed Marvy Wind Breeze.
Wild Breeze? You're just making stuff up on the...
Oh, it's Wild Breeze. Yeah. It might be Wind Breeze or Wild Breeze. I don't know.
It's something.
Nissan Mic Mini Sport and Honda Joy Machine.
Honda Joy Machine.
Didn't you just say that? Like Happy Joy Machine?
I might have. I don't even know. I'm going to say... I'm thinking it's... I know that the Mazda Proceed sounds right. Sounds like a real car. I don't know anything about Geely. Maybe the Beauty Leopard is the thing. That actually sounds like a Jaguar. That sounds like it could be real. Again, I'm just writing off the Japanese of the Honda Joy Machine because I've seen Joy in multiple Japanese
like the word
names.
Joy.
So I'm going to say the Nissan Mic Mini Sport is made up.
It is made up.
You almost had me by messing up with the name in the top corner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will say, though, the Geely Beauty Leopard, and I don't say this lightly when I say this, it is maybe truly the ugliest car ever conceived.
You better have a picture.
I have a picture of it.
Okay. You're telling me that I'm about to see something worse than an Aztec.
Oh, by miles.
Worse than a Fiat Multipla.
By modern standards, I don't even think the Aztec's that bad. It's not as outrageous as it was when it came out. It's like,
But the Multipla?
The Multipla is almost so ugly it's a meme,
Right. So we've gotten used to seeing it. But you're saying that had you just seen them both the first time, you would easily pick the Geely as being the uglier car? Or because the Multipla looks like it has a disease.
Yep, I think so. You want to see it?
I do. Ugh. Ew.
It's one of those, you're not sure where your eyes are supposed to go. You know what I mean? There's no comfortable resting place.
What's with the nostrils?
Yes, that's pretty bad.
What's with the nostrils?
And the hood goes super far down. And the corner of the headlights don't match up with the hood. They go off to the side.
What's with the...
It's rough.
How do they have a hood bulge that goes up and down?
Yeah.
How... Ew.
It's pretty bad.
And it's got an RX-7, or not RX-7, RX-8 fender flare, almost. Or maybe that's a reflection. I think that's a reflection.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ew. Where was this sold?
China.
Oh.
The second generation actually, by comparison, looks much better. I don't have a picture of that one, but...
This is bad.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Is this the ugliest car you've ever seen? Let us know.
I think the Multipla still takes it.
It might if I haven't been so desensitized to it.
Yeah. And also the fact that this one is supposed to be handsome. It's supposed to be a two-door coupe. It's supposed
Where the Multipla is just unapologetically ugly.
So maybe this one just fails harder because what it's reaching for is higher.
The bar just seems so far away.
Yeah. It was never, ever, ever, ever going to get there. This is so bad.
It's bad. What makes a car offensive to me is when it defies convention of aesthetics for no apparent reason. And as a result, there's no comfortable place to rest your eyes when you're looking at the front of it, because it's kind of distracting. You know what did this to me when I first saw it was the Nissan Juke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like looking at someone who has eyes down here, and their nose on their forehead, and you're so used to seeing a person with normal features and proportions,
You're like,
and
what do
you're
I even do?
without being offensive to this made up person, you like get a headache looking at them because you're like, what am I supposed to look at right now?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like that. I'm getting the same feeling from this. I'm like, oh. Anyway. All right. These are some recently published stats, and I want you to tell me, I want you to match the generation to their favorite car. So we have boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z.
Can you say favorite car?
This is the best selling for that generation. Honda Accord, Ford F-150, Honda Civic, Ford F-150.
So the Gen Z is going to be the Civic.
Think so?
I think the Gen Z is the Civic. I think the millennial and the boomer. I think the boomer is the Honda Accord. No. I think the boomer is the Accord, and then the X and millennial are F-150s.
And the Gen Z
Is the Civic.
You had 2 out of 4. Boomers and Gen X like F-150s.
Straight across. Oh, okay. I see. You moved them.
Millennial is Honda Accord. Gen Z is Honda Civic.
Okay, so over time, it went from Ford to Honda.
They also went bigger to smaller across the board. If you look at this is just the top car. There's 10 cars that are favorites across these. And one of the few consistent trends is the cars getting smaller. The F-150 is the best-selling truck, the top of the list for boomers and Gen Xers. For millennials, the F-150 drops all the way down to 6th for my generation.
Okay.
It's now the 6th best-selling. For Gen Zers, it's completely off the list. And since it's the best-selling truck, there are no full-size, there are no trucks of any kind. There are no trucks or SUVs at all for Gen Zers.
Which is interesting.
It's all cars, sedans.
SUVs.
No SUVs.
Really?
Not for Gen Zers, no.
It's all sedans.
In the top 10, nope. Only sedans.
Interesting, because the sedan market's so small.
Yeah. You have to think, though, it's not just a factor of interest. It's a factor of lifestyle.
And income.
Gen Zers typically aren't going to have like a family of 6 already, you know? They don't need a big truck or an SUV. They also don't have an income for a truck or an SUV. When you look at the top 10 best-selling, the F-150 is clearly the most expensive one on the list. So, yeah.
I don't mind that Tremor colorway.
No, it's cool.
I think it's like moon dust is their light gray or something like that.
With the orange, it looks good.
Yeah.
All right. So across all 4 of those generations, so boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Zers, across all 4 of those generations, what car is in the top 3 across all generations?
Accord.
Is it Honda Civic, Toyota Camry, Hyundai Elantra, or Nissan Altima?
It can't be the Altima. I'm going to say Camry.
Say Camry?
Camry.
Yeah. Yep. Is the Camry.
Yeah, there's not that many accidents for it to be a favorite of everybody.
You have to be a little closer. There you go.
People who drive Altimas don't know how to drive.
Oh, boy. Well, it did show up on the Gen Zer list, so there's a little bit of...
Yeah. Yeah. If you drive an Altima, I'm sorry.
Toyota Camry appears across all generations in the top 3.
Yeah. If you were to go to and just order, like, I would like 16 feet of car, please. It's just like you just roll out standard amount of car the way you would do like tubing or chain or whatever.
Safe. It's cheap. Incredibly fuel efficient. Keeps its
value.
It's reliable.
It is the absolute, like, this and the Accord are like the standard purchase.
Doug DeMuro said this best. He said that he wishes he was a person who was just happy with something like this. I forget what car he used, but this is basically an exact analog. Like, was happy with just something like a
anything
Camry hybrid or something.
A Camry hybrid would solve every one of his needs and then be entirely sufficient power wise, interest wise. Yeah, I can't even imagine being such a car guy sort of takes me out of the Venn diagram of people that would be shopping for a Camry.
Which is so interesting because if someone asked me what car should I get, I would probably recommend a Camry for a lot of people.
Anybody that asks right now, what I tell them is 2014 Corolla.
Yeah.
Go get a 2014 Corolla. You will be perfectly satisfied with all of your A to B needs.
If you got kids in car seats, maybe something like a Camry.
Heck, go get a 2015 RAV4. Sure. It'll serve you just fine, or a Honda CRV.
That'll be more expensive. The CRV will be more approachable.
Yeah, but even still, like, I wouldn't shop for any of those.
Yeah.
But I understand that they are, if you're looking for a vehicle for that person who just needs a widget to get them from place to place, yeah, that's what they're buying.
Yeah, it's so interesting because my car of choice is not what I would recommend to people. Somebody saw me recently. He texted me and he was like, someone I go to church with. He said, "Hey, I didn't know you had like an old muscle car like that." I was like, "Oh, yeah. I've had it a little while now." And he said, I've been thinking about getting something like that, and I'm trying to get my wife on board. Like, what do you recommend? And I'm like, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Like, I love it, but it has this big list of things that we'll call them compromises, to put it nicely, that I was fully prepared for. And it does not diminish my enjoyment of the car whatsoever. But if you are not fully prepared for that, it could be a very frustrating experience.
Absolutely. And for a while when you first bought it, your time under the car exceeded your time behind the wheel.
It was like a 5-to-1. For every hour I spent driving it, that was like 5 hours working on it.
Yeah.
Now it's closer to the other way around, but it took a while to get there.
Yeah, and if someone wants to have something that they would just be able to cruise in, just buy it, not build it, they're going to be spending a
lot of money. Well, and frankly, I've spent a good amount on the CUDA, but at least it's overtime,
Yeah.
But for me, it's worth it. But when someone sees me driving around in it, they're like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like, that's my reaction when I saw it,
Yeah.
And like, man, I would love something like that. And it's like, you love the idea of it, actually living with it. It's like seeing someone with a pet tiger. Like, sure, that looks fun. Maybe you like the idea of it, but in practice, I don't know if you know what you're signing up for.
You go through a lot of llamas.
Yeah.
Or whatever they feed tigers. I don't know what tigers eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think recommending something like a Miata is a lot more approachable because it'll have air conditioning that works great.
It's not expensive. It's pretty reliable.
Easy to repair. You see them at 200,000 miles on occasion. You see them, people will and then
and they're fuel efficient.
There's no shortage of parts. So as far as a toy goes, a toy car is effectively what it is. It's one of the more approachable ones. That and a Subaru BRZ or a Toyota GR86. So,
or if you want to go a little bit older, you can get like a C5, C6 Corvette.
You could, yeah.
For probably the same amount of money.
Yeah. And it would have about the same quality interior as a Miata.
Be faster. Maybe not around the bends, but in the straights.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that wouldn't be for someone who wants more speed. Can we just address the fact that we went on this awesome drive? Pictures?
Yeah, we could talk about it. Maybe in our next one, I didn't even think to include pictures or anything, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. The next one, we'll go over it. We'll make Logan jealous.
I'll put a picture up here as you talk about it. But
okay. So for my birthday, I wanted to go on a drive, and I invited Mason and Alan, our other brother, along, and my dad and Chad, a friend of ours, and we took a Mustang, a Corvette, and my Miata. A Mustang, a Corvette, and my Miata up Coronado Trail. And if you're not familiar, it's like the Dragon's Tail, except the Dragon's Tail is 11 miles, and Coronado Trail is 100 miles. And it's just in our own backyard here in Arizona. But the downside is that there's nowhere near the top or bottom of Coronado Trail that you would be able to really stay.
If you're driving it, you're over there specifically to drive it. You're not on your way somewhere.
Yeah, it is not on the way from anywhere to anywhere else. It goes from Morenci, a mining town of population of just people who are there to mine, to Alpine, a population of, at its peak during the middle of summer, 6,000 people, and less than 1,000 most winters. And that's the only thing on either end of this road. But you get to drive some of the most technical and enjoyable curves and turns anywhere this side of the Mississippi. It is amazing. How many cars did we see over the 2-hour drive up Coronado?
Probably a dozen in 2 hours.
Yeah.
We didn't see anyone on our side of the road the entire time.
We didn't get stuck behind a single car for 100 miles.
And we were
no one
moving
out there.
We were moving.
We were absolutely booking it. I was testing the limits of grip on about half of the turns. And we were also doing filming and all kinds of other stuff. The only person we came across was a guy on a motorcycle who would pass us when we stopped to adjust a camera, and then we would pass him again when he was stopping to take pictures of the scenery. But beautiful, beautiful scenery. We went from the desert. We went from the desert in a mine. Hold on. Went from a mine on the south end, like desert environment, to like a mid-level Mogollon Rim type of environment, to pine trees, and then ended it in Alpine, going across Three Forks Road and
Big Lake,
past Big Lake, which isn't that big, but it is called Big Lake.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And
Salt
anyway,
River Canyon.
yeah, we did Salt River Canyon. We did, I don't know what it's called, the mountains between Globe and Superior. Yeah, that was great. So all of it was amazing. It was such a fun time. It was 7 hours of driving that I felt like it just flew by.
Yeah.
The second day of 7 hours was just like nothing.
I told my wife what we were doing, and she's like, "You're going to drive 8 hours over the course of a day and a half?" And she's like, "That's not going to be boring?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And I got back, and she was like, "Was it as fun as you thought it was going to be?" And I was like, "Totally." I'd say for 5 of the 8 hours, it flew by. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, and then the rest of it was just straight shot where we could just cruise and listen to music. But yeah, you guys will be seeing more footage from that. Mason's put up a short already, and a couple more will be coming out in the next few days, but so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was amazing. And when I got home, my wife was like, "You finally tired of your car?" It was 10 hours of driving, by the way. Between it was Saturday and Sunday, it was 10 hours of driving. And she's like, "Are you finally tired of your car?" And I'm like, "If you want food, I'll go get it right now. I'll jump in my car and go for a drive." Like,
No. It was a blast. We rented a C8 Corvette for the drive, and it was awesome. I mean, there are faster, more powerful cars out there, but for those roads, rarely do you have any straight road long enough to even take advantage of that. So honestly, that Corvette was even a little bit too much for those roads. Like the Miata was perfect.
I got to drive the Corvette for a short period of time. And after about 100 yards, I looked at my dad who was in the passenger seat, and I was like, I made the right choice. I prefer the Miata. Because, and this is the upside of the Corvette, it is effortless speed. You can be going illegal amounts of fast with almost no effort.
In a wink.
And it's still quiet. It's still comfortable. You're not tired by anything. No undue burden is put upon you. And the downside is it's effortless. You're barely even a participant in the speed or the handling or anything. The Miata, you got to grab by the scruff of the neck and teach it what to do and take it around a corner yourself. And that is just so much more my speed. So I was, in the back of my mind, a little bit worried I'd get in the Corvette and then want it. And I was totally relieved to go, I don't want this at all.
And the Miata is manual. So you're just a lot more involved with everything going on.
And it's among the best manuals ever made. Like, you will find that opinion everywhere. So to drive my car on those roads, I didn't want to let anyone else drive it. I didn't want to do anything other than just take my car around another and another and another. There's 460 curves and turns and hairpins
Over the course of 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And it's just one to the next, to the next, to the next. It's just, amazing. Anyway, highly, highly recommend, because you could go to Tail of the Dragon and wait in line to get stuck behind other cars also going down Tail of the Dragon.
There was nobody. We could go as fast or as slow as we wanted. We did not pass a single cop for 3 hours. Maybe.
There is nowhere for them to hide.
Yeah.
I will say, it's a sheer drop.
No guardrails.
There isn't a single guardrail for 100 miles. And some of them are so steep. Alan, not a huge fan of heights. I pointed out the window, and in my car, not a tall SUV, a Miata, you look out the window and you can't see the ground because it's falling away from you so fast, right outside the window. Mm. And I was like, think about this, Alan. That is so far down that we would die long before we stopped falling. We'd be falling 2 or 3 times as long as it took to kill us. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you can just drive. You don't have to say that.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I would have loved to drive the Cuda, but I wouldn't have been able to keep up with you guys in the Cuda.
Alpine is a better place for the Cuda.
And yeah, it needs some work before I'm comfortable driving it that far between service stations or anything. So
yeah. Yeah, and on top of it all, not that it matters, but during the entire trip of 500 miles, I spent less than $60 on fuel.
Yeah. Although the Corvette, I was shocked.
Didn't do half bad.
We got 23, 24 miles a gallon, and we were driving uphill, like, pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, we gained 8,000 feet in elevation from Morenci to Alpine.
Yeah.
Across Coronado Trail. Yeah. And I was driving mine like a bat out of hell basically the whole time. Mm-hmm. Unless we were on a straight road, like you said, was a fifth of the time. So the rest of the time I was just driving that thing like I stole it. And I got home averaging 34.
Yeah. Well, I should say the whole trip we averaged like 24, but that was a lot of highway miles in between. Mm-hmm. The actual driving up, the Coronado Trail, we were more like 17 or 18, but still, not bad.
I was doing like 26 up Coronado, and then for the whole trip, though, 34.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so watch those videos.
It was so much fun.
Mostly because I've spent a lot of time editing them, so please watch them. I'll be very sad if no one watches them.
I will watch them 100 times so that they get 100
It's like 4.5 hours of footage that I've edited down for your benefit, just to the best parts. Yeah. There was like trees in the road. There were deer. There were cows.
Rocks.
Because it's so infrequently traveled, nobody's there to clean up or to put traffic cones out or whatever. So you have to be vigilant around like a blind turn because there very well could be something in the road and nobody's been by in hours to do anything about it.
Right. So we had radios. Mason supplied the radios. It was great. And we were able to call out to the rear car. Like, deer or rock or whatever. We almost hit a cow. Very nearly hit a cow.
In the Miata.
In the Miata. And then
cow weighs about as much as the Miata.
Yeah. If I hit that Miata, I would have been dead. I would have taken the legs out.
If you hit the cow?
Or if I hit the cow. If I hit the cow, I would have just taken the legs out and the body would have just crushed me and my passenger immediately.
I was your passenger for that portion.
I thought, yeah. So when we had to dive around that cow, it was a bull. It was a full-size bull.
And it looks bigger in a Miata.
It absolutely does. You're looking up at its belly from a Miata. So anyway, it was just great. It was every bit of it I enjoyed. And I would go again tomorrow.
Next question. What car brand did Henry Ford start before starting the Ford Motor Company?
Okay. Is this a car brand I would have heard of?
Some of them. The Henry Ford Company, the Detroit Automobile Company, Cadillac Automobile Company, or Ford and Malcolmson.
So I know it's not Cadillac. And I do know that Henry Ford failed before he made the Ford Motor Company. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure he was among multiple people starting this company, and it wouldn't have had his name on it. So I'm thinking the Detroit Automobile Company.
You are partially correct. He actually started all of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perseverance, kids. That's what we've learned.
Yep. So his first one, he worked at the Edison electric plant there in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
He showed his gasoline engine. It was kind of like a quad, wasn't quite a car. Showed it to none other than Thomas Edison, who was excited about it. And so he left the company and started the Detroit Automobile Company. The cars weren't up to his quality standards, and they ended up being a lot more expensive than he was expecting. And so they just couldn't sell them because he was having to sell the idea of a car, not just a car, and wasn't able to do it. But he didn't give up. He then started the Henry Ford Company. With some investors, but there were some disagreements between them, and he ended up leaving the Henry Ford Company. And at that point, they couldn't keep calling it the Henry Ford Company, so they renamed it Cadillac Automobile Company. And 7 years later, it was bought by GM. So I guess he didn't quite start Cadillac, but kind of did, because it was the Henry Ford Company, and then he left, and they renamed it Cadillac. After that, he founded Ford and Malcolmson, who was a coal plant operator. He sold coal. I don't know his role, but he had money.
His role in coal?
I don't know his coal role, no. And they got investors from none other than the Dodge brothers. And then they restructured under the Ford Motor Company. And it is still called that to this day.
And the Dodge brothers then worked for Ford, right?
I think so. And then they left to go make their own cars.
Mm-hmm. And
they went on to make the best looking cars ever made. So, at least their company.
Hey, I've been to Cadillac, Michigan.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's very tiny, though. I was there for a job. We were digging up gasoline that had soaked into the soil. We were digging up soil around a leaky underground petroleum storage tank. And, anyway, the guy who owned it hadn't maintained it in years, and it had been out of, it had been unused for years. It had been unused for probably 10 years before we got there, but it had been leaking gasoline into the soil since the early 90s. And just so you know, the standard operating procedure for that is just to monitor it and see how big the plume gets. So you just drill holes in the ground, and then you test what you get coming out and see if the plume migrates underneath the soil or under the ground or whatever. And if it just becomes a big enough problem, then you remediate it. But
wow.
Every city in America has dozens or sometimes thousands of leaky petroleum storage tanks just leaking gasoline into the ground all the time.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, we went there to clean that up at that one specific one. And we dug down as deep as our excavators could go based on the size of the lot. So you have to have like a slope to keep the gradient stable, which we even had to do more shallow because it was so soaked in gasoline that it was like almost a gasoline mud. And it's just drip. Anybody with a match could have just lit the soil. And anyway, so the size of the lot meant that our excavator couldn't go down any deeper. It couldn't reach any deeper, and we didn't get to the bottom of where all so we just got rid of what we could reach and then just filled it in with clean dirt on top of this dirty soil. So we didn't really fix anything. We didn't get rid of all of it. But they spent the state of Michigan spent a lot of money to have us out there to do that, to achieve what I could figure out is basically nothing, except also accidentally hooking the internet line and pulling all of the glass tubes,
fiber optic,
pulling all of the fiber optic lines out of the ground for like a 30-mile radius and killed all of the internet for multiple schools and a military installation, which was great. Anyway, and we killed the phone lines for the whole town on accident on a different day, but it was the same excavator operator both times. So, and we broke a sewage pipe that was unknown to be there, but whatever. Anyway, long story short, I've been to Cadillac, Michigan, and that place is tiny and full of gasoline.
Tim Horton passed away after losing control of what car? You know who Tim Horton is?
Of Tim Horton's Coffee.
And prior to that, the NHL hockey star. I don't know what's NHL. Don't shoot me. I don't know anything about hockey or Canada for that matter. Sorry. I'm just ignorant. But he's a professional hockey player. And after during his hockey career, started Tim Hortons, like donuts and restaurants and all coffee and all that.
I didn't know that. All I've heard about is coffee.
Yeah. But he drove, at least in the car community, a renowned car, and ended up dying in a crash.
Okay.
In what vehicle?
I'm going to guess it has leaf spring suspension, maybe an American car.
I don't know if it has leaf spring suspension, but is it a Chevy Corvette, Lamborghini Countach, Ferrari 365 GTB, or a De Tomaso Pantera?
Countach.
You should know better.
Is it always a Pantera?
It's always a Pantera. Yes.
Cool. Is this him? Is he dead in that one?
No. Okay. No, I don't know what his looked like, but...
probably not in this condition after he crashed it.
Yeah. Yeah, De Tomaso Pantera. All right. Discussion segments.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
News. As of yesterday, the electric Ram
I didn't know this.
Dead. Dead.
The Ram Rev is totally gone?
Ram Rev, well, the electric Ram is dead. But the name Ram Rev is now the Ram Charger. They're changing the Ram Charger's name to Ram Rev.
So they're just like, don't look over here, and they just like take it off of one and stick it on the other?
Yeah, just classic Chrysler.
Why?
Naming shenanigans. Why are they getting rid of the electric truck? I could tell you why.
Oh, man, I could make some guesses.
Yeah, no one's going to buy it.
Right, it's not going to sell.
And this is one of the few instances where Chrysler being last to the party actually worked out for them.
Yeah, because they didn't produce a ton of these that are going to sit on lots.
Mm-hmm. So for those not keeping track at home, which I wouldn't blame you, the electric Ram was originally supposed to come out like third quarter of last year, and it got postponed a few times. The Ram Charger, which is... Okay, let me back up. The electric Ram that you see pictured here is all electric, similar to the Cybertruck, the Silverado EV, the Ford Lightning. That's what this product is. But they called it, or were going to call it, the Ram electric vehicle, or Ram Rev. Rev is also in the electric drivetrain industry the name of a different style of electric propulsion called range extended electric vehicle, right? Which is abbreviated REEV, sometimes just REV. But that's not what this is.
Or EREV, electric
range extended vehicle.
Yeah.
EREV, REV. That's not what this is. But they did have an EREV, but it wasn't called the REV. It was called the Ram Charger.
Stop us when you go cross-eyed.
Yeah. And they use that name because they used to have a truck called the Ram Charger back in the day. Has absolutely nothing to do with this new product. The difference between an all-electric truck like this, which is as simple as you imagine it is, it's just a big battery with a truck on top of it, right? And electric motors. The EREV or REV is a much smaller electric battery with an onboard generator. And you fill it up just like you would a normal car. You put gas in it, and it makes energy on the go. You may think, well, that's ridiculous. That's not efficient. It actually is incredibly efficient. It's more efficient, if you can imagine, if you can believe it, it's more efficient to have a generator that you're putting gas in to create electricity to drive the wheels than to just use the engine to directly drive the wheels.
This is all about power needs. When you're towing a trailer with a truck, or you're trying to accelerate quickly, or you're stuck in sand, or whatever it is that you need, you're having a lot of load on the car. You need to have a high amount of power for that, which means a big engine that's not that efficient. So as you have higher demand, the engine gets bigger and your efficiency goes down. We all understand this. If you can use a small engine that is very efficient at turning liquid pterodactyl into electricity, then what you're doing is you are storing up the energy of that small motor to be dumped all at once by the electric motors if they need to. So the electric motors can run extremely efficient, like 98+% efficient on the electricity in the battery pack going to actually turning the wheels. Almost nothing is lost to heat. Whereas a regular engine, a particularly efficient vehicle is 30% thermally efficient. Of the energy involved in of the energy contained in the gasoline, only 30% of it is used for locomotion. The rest of it is turned to heat and sound and friction. So if you take a really efficient little engine, sure, it's only producing a little bit of power, but you're able to store that up in the form of a small battery to use it all at once. So you don't need to carry around a giant engine.
And you don't need to carry around a giant battery.
You don't need a giant battery either. So you can go with a small battery. And in the Ram, what was the Ram Charger yesterday, but I guess today is the Ram Rev. I swear, someone over there needs to lose their job. This is so deeply confusing.
They need to hire someone just to name their products.
They have cool names, but they confuse stuff so much, like the Scat Pack 6-pack. Yes. Anyway, so I find the Ram Charger, or what will now be called the Ram Rev, fascinating. The thing produces so much power, it needs 8 lugs in a half-ton truck to not shear the lugs off. It tows more than any other 1500 size pickup.
And the kicker for actual truck people that want to do actual truck things is it gets more than 600 miles of range.
If you're careful, you will hit 700 miles.
Mm-hmm. And that's not
700 miles of driving.
That's not EV like, oh yeah, well, potentially you could get 400 miles under like very unique circumstances. This will get that kind of range because you're driving the electricity from an onboard generator. Now, if you're towing something, that will affect your range. But guess what? Because it has an engine on board, you don't need to stop and charge a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack. You just stop and fill it up with gas and you're on your way.
Yeah, you bring your gas station with you. It's just always charging.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can plug it in.
ABCs always be charging.
You can plug it in and charge it, because it does have a battery. And you can get, 60, 70 miles of range, something like that?
170.
Yeah.
170 miles is a respectable amount of miles in a big pickup.
But if you're going to be towing, top it off with gas, and you got 600 miles at your disposal. And then when you run out of range, you fill it up like any other truck. So that's...
And you won't even run out of range. You just keep it filled up.
So what I was just showing was the canceled Ram Rev. So when you ask me, they're doing away with the Ram Rev? What the product was, that used to be, yes, but the name is sticking around. This is now the 2026 Ram Rev.
So Dodge, Ram is like, don't look over here.
They want everyone to forget about that.
We never did that. Don't worry about it. We even pushed it back. Nobody wanted that crap. This is our cool thing because I bet you they know. They know that this is an industry-changing vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Big time. That's why they moved it up. The electric was supposed to come first and this after. And then they saw what was going on in the rest of the industry. And they're like, you know what? Let's fast-track this product and move the electric truck back.
They know. What if you could buy a truck that costs less than an electric truck, has every single benefit of an electric truck and every single benefit of a gas truck, and costs less than the electric offering?
I think they're on the right track here. This looks like a truck. It performs like a really good truck. And
It performs like a 2500.
and it behaves like a truck in that you can actually use it. You can tow with it and you can fill it up with gas and keep going. So this is the only technically electric truck that I think people who use the full potential of their trucks could actually use. This is an actual product that is real.
Regularly tow a motorhome or a big boat or something, you wouldn't even consider a Rivian or a Cybertruck.
No. Or even maybe the Silverado EV, but that thing's so outrageously expensive for that giant battery.
Well, they're the cheapest if you get the small battery. The cheapest electric truck on the road is still wildly expensive.
Yeah.
But
if you want range that's still not anywhere close to what this thing can achieve, you're spending way more money.
People were blown away by the 480 miles or something they claimed in the 200 kilowatt hour pack.
Yeah, but then strap a big heavy trailer on the back and see that mileage drop in half, and then you got to sit and wait for it to charge.
And heaven forbid it's below like 50 degrees out, and you have to spend a lot of energy keeping the batteries warm. Now, this thing's got a 60 kilowatt hour battery.
When you've got like 6 horses and you need to be across Texas by that afternoon, you're not using an all electric truck.
Yeah.
Not if your livelihood depends on it. Not if you have livestock or you need to get goods somewhere. Like if you need to be able to take a detour if you need to and not have to see, well, do I have the time? Is there going to be a supercharging station there?
Yeah, like what happens if a road is out because of a flood or a crash or whatever. That's a perfect example of like the electric trucks can work most of the time in theory, but we don't live in theory. We live in the real world.
So people who actually use the full potential of their trucks for real truck things, this is the first technically electric powered truck that I think is just as viable as a normal truck because you can fill it up and keep going. So this is now the 2026 Ram Rev, no longer the Ram Charger. I like the Ram Charger name, but I do understand they're trying to make this just a truck. It happens to be electric, but they don't really want you to think about that. They just want you to know this is a truck. These are the specs. This is what it can do. This is the range it gets, and you can fill it up. It's just a truck.
Yeah.
Just think of it like a truck.
Good point. They would much rather put this against F-150 than a Lightning.
Exactly.
Because
it looks good against either one. It will depend on the pricing.
It looks phenomenal against either. The pricing would probably be a little more than a Ford, but it's going to be less than a 2500.
Yeah.
And it'll perform the same as a 2500.
I think it'll be on par with the other electric trucks, if not a little cheaper.
It's got to be cheaper. Most of the expense is the batteries. This is only 60 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, but it has a whole engine in it too.
That's the Pentastar that they've had for forever. That costs them next to nothing.
It's the engine in my minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single.
But also everything that goes with putting an engine in a car too. So.
Which most of that doesn't exist.
That's true. It doesn't have a drivetrain, doesn't have a transmission.
Doesn't have any of that. It just has a generator.
Yeah. But it still needs like a wiring harness and a computer for that. And
I mean, yeah, but that would be the truth for any vehicle they made.
Yeah.
Honestly, like they might make this cheaper than a 6.4 Ram. Without the battery, maybe. It'd probably be the cost of a 6.4 Ram plus the cost of a 60 kilowatt hour battery.
But it will be faster accelerating, tow more.
Potentially, I think they were saying up to 800 foot-pounds of torque.
And better mileage.
Yeah, and the 6.4 has 410 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all going to depend on pricing.
And 29 or 27 miles to the gallon.
Even if it was priced exactly what the other electric trucks are at, this is so much of a better product.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can refuel it and keep going.
Yeah, since you showed me Edison Motors, I've become a member on their YouTube. I've commented on like almost everything. I've watched every bit of media they've put out. Edison Motors is doing this technology with semi-trucks.
Did you try to invest?
No.
I know. I thought about it, but you have to have a net worth of like over $1 million or something, or I forget what it was, or like have a business in Canada. They make it very difficult. And that's not Edison. That's just the Canadian government doing silly Canadian government things.
Right. Do you know that the Edison Motors vehicle is not clean enough to pass their standards?
Really?
Yeah. So they use a generator that is designed the size of the pistons, the size of the intake runners. Everything about this thing is designed to run at one single RPM with a small window up or down and to be maximally efficient.
Mm-hmm.
An on-road engine has to be tested through a huge range of loads and RPMs. So generators are not run through all of those different load ratings. Well, in their application, this generator is still going to stay at one solid RPM, and it passes with flying colors every standard it has to pass to be considered not EPA, because they don't use the EPA, basically to be compliant. Thank you. To be compliant, this thing passes everything it has to. And they even asked, they said, so if we had like an onboard crane and we put the generator on the ground next to the truck and then used it to charge the truck, then we could sell it? And they're like, yes. And he's like, so if we have the generator on the truck when it charges the truck, we can't sell it. And they're like, exactly. And he's like, so because it no longer passes emission standards if we pick it up and put it on the truck. They're like, well, then it has to pass on-road use for a generator. And what they're going through right now is they're like, there is no standard for an on-road generator. That doesn't exist. This is the first time. And they are being blocked by the Canadian government because they're, I guess, going to be polluting the environment with their EV truck.
Even though it's way more efficient,
yes,
way more environmentally friendly than
one of their customers that has not. It's sort of like a behind the curtain thing. They have a truck that they're building, but they haven't announced what the truck's going to be for or who's even buying it. But he had him on a video today, and he was like blurred out, and he said he ran the numbers for his business, and he expects a 40 to 50% fuel savings. 40 to 50% in a semi-truck. Not a small semi-truck. This thing is like 40 feet long.
It's like a train.
Yeah.
It's like a train on the road.
40 to 50% fuel savings. And they're like...
That's thousands of dollars every trip.
Every single trip, yeah. Yeah, and he said, by our numbers, we should be buying only these.
Yeah. That's just a great... I'm going to get on like a rant now, but that's just a perfect example of regulations placed for supposedly good reasons that end up getting in the way of innovation.
Yeah, they said that they can get a waiver, like an exception, but that has to pass their basically what is their House of Representatives for just their exception for just them. So to even get one brought in front of anyone that could possibly vote on it will take 2 years. And he's like, we're selling these trucks in months. And he's confident that they're going to get temporary or off-road exceptions for these trucks because they were hit with this unexpectedly. They're like, this makes no sense. This makes no sense whatsoever. Of course we weren't anticipating this. Like, we're still going to deliver trucks on time. But we are working every single day with... And he's like, what else sucks is that the people at this Environment Canada, I think is the name of the department. He's like, every person I've talked to there agrees with me. They're like, yeah, this is nonsense. There's nothing we could do, but it is nonsense. And he's like, nobody there has any amount of power to do anything.
That's crazy.
They can't even grant an exception. They can't grant an exception for the world's most efficient semi-truck to pass their efficiency standards.
Thank goodness they have some capital, because another company that doesn't have notoriety or capital, that means they're done. They can't sell products. That means they're out of business.
Right.
And now the world that you could have had with a bunch of these hyper-efficient semi-trucks just doesn't exist now because of bureaucracy.
Yeah, for the sake of bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm. So lame.
So they're saying, but all these people in their comments are like, "We'll just pay to get your generator road certified," and they're like, "That would be more than every dollar we have to do that testing." It's so expensive to certify and test anything in Canada that they bought land. They bought like 100 and something acres, and they're building their own semi-truck test track
Because it's cheaper
than to get it certified elsewhere. They're building 100-acre test track with skid pads and like a huge oval. The ground has to be compacted and reinforced to carry the weight, because all of their testing has to be done fully loaded.
Yeah.
And they can carry more than a standard semi-truck because of certain regulations that are actually working in their favor that time. So they can carry more. So they have to do all of their testing fully loaded, and it's cheaper to buy all the land and build the entire thing.
That could be a potential revenue source.
Right.
Because other companies can test their stuff there, and they could charge
you know what else is
slightly less for it.
So cool is there are local businesses that have a really hard time getting a hold of land capital in Canada. And for basically almost nothing, Edison is parceling off part of this huge land purchase that they did to these smaller groups. So like one of them is a land moving business. One of them just is like earthworks or whatever. And they need a place to store a lot of equipment. And they're like, well, if you do a lot of earthwork moving for us, here's some land to use. And then there's this other like smaller community group of off-road electric go-kart racers, that have nowhere to do what they do. So they just decided, hey, earthworks people, how about you build them a go-kart track, an off-road go-kart track for high schoolers to build their off-road electric go-karts. And they have the expertise of Edison right there. They can just go knock on the door and ask them questions about like what's wrong with whatever electric system. And then they have a track now. All of these high schools can come and use this track for basically free. And there's no regulations around it because there's no oil or gas or anything that could spill. So they're using the land to better their community and push innovation. And then the government just comes in and just squares them up on the shoulders and just knees them in the groin and just over and over. Like what could you imagine the most beneficial company for your country? And you're going to just squeeze them where it hurts for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, it reminds me of like trying to do business in San Francisco. I won't go off on a tangent on that, but yeah, look up the guy who's trying to convert his laundromat into an apartment complex, and you will see red with rage. Like it's insane the kind of hoops that he has to jump through. However bad you think it is, it's 100 times worse.
Jeez.
But he at least has a laundromat that makes money in the meantime. But everyone else, they go bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw this?
So funny.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, you probably already saw this, but I'll talk about it real quick. There's an EV charger. It has its Fretsonic exhaust. It's a speaker with some pipes. I mean, that's all it is. It can get loud, and this guy apparently was driving with a bunch of other people at a stoplight, and he, according to him, was the least obnoxious of the group. Everyone else took off at the light and like accelerated away from him, and a cop across the intersection did a U-turn, and he happened to be the last in line and pulled him over.
Row, yeah.
And the cop would not hear it. This was in Stillwater, Minnesota. And yeah, the cop didn't want to hear it. He's like, it's an EV. Like, it doesn't even have, I mean, it was making noise. The guy was trying to play it off like, oh, it doesn't even have like an engine, but like, obviously it's still making some noise, but yeah. So
I would have just turned it off in the dash and been like, look, I can do anything. There's no noise.
If the cop doesn't know anything about it, then yeah, that'd be pretty easy to like show him like, so it doesn't make any noise. It's an EV.
Yeah.
But no, the cop didn't want to hear any of it. What's funny though is seeing him get an exhaust noise violation makes the Charger a little bit more credible in my eyes.
Okay.
You know, just a little bit.
Because you and I can pick out that it's not real.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, but more just like, oh, hey, this thing happened to me in my loud muscle car. So now it's like, okay, all right, fine. It happened to you too in your EV. It like makes it feel a little bit more like a muscle car, even though it's still just an electric car.
Yeah.
It is. That's something you would only find, like I could see that happening to me in my car.
Yeah, whereas like
a Tesla.
There's something about misbehavior that happens with a muscle car.
For sure.
And an EV feels more like a straight-laced, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's all. I just thought that was funny. All right.
That all you got?
That's all I got.
Great. Thank you for setting this up. Sorry I didn't contribute any slides, but
it's all good.
It was good.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. See you in the next one.
See ya.